Welcome into 10 Questions with NBC 10 Boston. I'm Kwani Lunas. This is the first time I've been in someone's apartment for this.
Oh, well, welcome. I'm glad to break the ice with that.
And so, of course, I'm here with Alex Veda Ortiz. You're a student at Berkeley College of Music, also a musician. People may have heard your last name before because of your father, who played for the Boston Red Sox. But we're here to talk about you and your journey with music and how you got into music and just hear a little bit more about who you are.
I'm so excited to share everything I can with you. This process is like, I've been dreaming about it without knowing. So now that I'm kind of getting into my own, getting into the adult world, the industry and stuff, I'm just excited to collaborate and test myself, prove to myself that I can basically like keep my hands moving and yeah.
Let's start with music itself. Like, when did you realize that music was something that you wanted to be a part of your life?
I've actually always known that music was going to be a part of my life. I just didn't take myself maybe as seriously and I didn't take myself as seriously as I should have probably, but I think a lot of people are in my position with that. Yeah. When I was young, I used to sing in the car, and my mom would see me in the car seat and be like, "Why is she screaming? Like, is she okay?" And she was like, "Oh, she's just singing. Like, that's actually the note Mary J. Blige was singing. She's just trying to sing that note."
On it.
Yeah, she's not quite there yet. She's an infant still. But yeah, I've been thinking about this for a while. It's only now that I'm really finding the vocabulary, realizing what those locations are on the roadmap to, making my dreams come true, because you can't know something that you can't find something that you don't know exists.
Facts. And you're studying music at Berkeley. What's that experience like, and how has it, again, this is something you knew you wanted to do, but how is it being in an environment where your talents are being cultivated on a regular basis?
I would say one of the things that Berkeley does best is, because they surround themselves around music, they find some of the greatest faculty in the world. I would say some of these teachers have inspired me more than pastors. They've inspired me more than even my family at times, because my family always gets me on track, but the teachers know what I'm lacking. And it's like, it really is like my church to go into a specific, classroom. For example, my ensemble teacher, Winston McCow, shout out to you. You always make me feel so comfortable and safe to come to class, and that makes me
shout out for me, just looking directly into the
9 a.m. on a Friday.
That's real.
That's
love
why
right
you
there.
got the shout out. That's why, because I come to that class and I'm always feeling so inspired and so excited to just sing my face off. And if it's about math, if it's about acoustics and more intricate classes, those relationships with the teachers are even more important. Yeah, so I would say the relationships has been great for me, and even more importantly, being able to show someone something and they say, "Wow, I actually somewhat know what you're trying to say. Wow, I see you," That's where you go to a specified school for. That's where you go to specialized schools for, because you want to be seen. And the more you're seen, the more you're able to move forward. It's not, let me rephrase.
Yeah.
The more you're seen, the more you feel inspired to move forward.
Because they're encouraging you and saying, like you said, I understand what
Valid.
you're doing.
Yeah,
the validation definitely helps. So what about music draws you? What do you think? Why is it something that you feel as though you're called to do?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking this question. I mean, a lot of people like music, so for me to say that it's the one thing that gives me breath, the reason for that would possibly be my understanding of it, its understanding of me. And I'm not Stevie Wonder. I'm not a theoretical genius. I'm not, like Coltrane. But what I do know is, if I hear somebody sing these notes this way, if I hear the saxophone wail and cry these notes, there's an ancestral cultural memory that it is tapping into inside of me. And that I've learned at Berkeley. Yeah. I never knew why I liked music. And it's because these are in my memory, like before life or during life. These notes
were always you.
They're always, yeah. We all like certain things more than other things. There's a reason why Kanye has hits. You know, it's because of that. He has so much of an abundance of great memory spoken through music. Like, to be able to tap in deep, that is the result of being able to tap in deep, definitely.
I love talking to fellow Caribbean girls and guys about
Hey.
how your parents, and granted, again, unconventional because your dad played sports for a living, but what was it like telling your parents that you weren't going to be in a conventional doctor, lawyer type role? You're Dominican, I'm Haitian.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times there is this level of what success looks like,
Yeah.
right? But then again, you look at your father's career, and that's considered a big success, specifically in MLB, but here in Boston. So for you, how did you, one, approach them saying, hey, I want to get into music? And then two-parter, I guess, how do you define success as a result of your family and how you want to be seen in the music world?
Wow, yeah, those are fantastic
They were all coming
questions.
out my head. I was like, I'm just going to get them out now.
Fantastic questions. Okay, so the first, in terms of sharing myself and sharing my ambitions, sometimes I'm gonna be real, I lie to myself. Like, oh, you can't do this, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna be this. So to be able to fully say it outward to my family, maybe that wasn't as much of a challenge for me. I actually would have to say that they supported me more than I supported myself. And yeah, I'm I hate to just be like, I'm blessed. You know, I'm blessed, I'm not stressed. But the real talk is they saw how much I love music and they saw that I was really good at it. And that I'm a hard worker. Like, I will put myself into anything the best that I can, and I will hope that everyone will love it. So music is that great opportunity for me in that sense. But I once again have to stress my parents are not traditional, even in that sense. Even with the Caribbean thing, like, my dad took us to the States, and you know what it is like being maybe second gen, or first gen. And then my mom is from America, and she actually didn't get her college degree. So I'm working with two people who, frankly, have been more than supportive to me, considering what their journeys were.
They understand they're bringing you here, and this is the place where you should be able to live out your dream too.
Yeah, and it's crazy to not know that until you're 22. You know, because you're supported so lovingly. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
I want to hear more about your thoughts on being first generation, second generation here in the U.S. A lot of times when you think about the diaspora of coming from another country and the things maybe as an adult you finally realize that your parents had to do to just give you little opportunities or big opportunities here in the U.S. Have you ever reflected on that, and what are your thoughts if so?
Yeah, one thing that I would probably want to touch base on is the different, just like social ambition that it takes. For example, black or white, my mother's white, my father is black Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean, and Dominican man. And so when you see these people enter spaces that are thousands of miles from their home, no matter what their language is, no matter what their color is, there is going to be a loss of translation. There's going to be a language barrier. Boston people are different than Wisconsin people.
Very.
Boston people are different than Cape Cod people.
Right.
Like, yeah, so, but with that being said, I think being first generation, I appreciate more just them being able to hold themselves up in those spaces. My generation has way too much anxiety. So to know that my parents were able to not only put themselves out there, but do it with confidence, that should take me miles. Yeah.
So the part about success, how do you define it with your music?
Success for me is definitely defined more by how fulfilled I am. It's kind of a cop-out because like what fulfills you. But I'm definitely fulfilled by the intangible. Like, money's great. Let's pay the rent. Let's get nice clothes.
Right.
And let's feed our friends nice dinners. Like, who doesn't want to do that? But at the end of the day, I want to feel the desire to get the bag again. That's success. To feel proud of yourself and want to do it again. Yeah, like this is success. When I see what you're doing, like this is success for me because I feel like you want to do it.
Yeah. I want to talk about your sound. I was listening to, I stalked you on Instagram, of course, because I do some research.
My robots.
But your music, your sound, I saw the video you did for your song Dreams. How would you describe your sound and that song specifically? What does it mean to you?
Speaking to other musicians, if they hear that song and we talk about it, I would say it's like a pop general. Like it's a very popular styled song.
But there's soul to it, like a deep
Yeah,
soul
and my influences are very soul, neo soul. You know, we're talking about Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. Obviously, is like anyone with a heart loves her, and maybe pop with a little swag.
Yeah.
Like soul is real. That's the actual word. But because it's 2023, like let's change it up.
Added a little
yeah,
to it.
yeah. Because I don't want y'all to think that this is my soul stuff.
Oh, so you have other stuff.
It gets deeper. We have emotions.
For sure.
Kwani, we're going through
you
things.
cry a lot.
I cry. Oh, the Netflix,
cathartic.
the Instagram, all these little things scrolling up in my face immediately. I'm like, tear. But it's not bad. It's just like the walls are made of paper.
Yeah.
They're crumbling down.
Wait, but to that point, we talk about social media. I do think your generation, I feel like I'm sound old, but your generation is the one that grew up on having to be online all the time. How do you think that's, one, fueled your career? Because I think obviously you're able to show your work and share a lot, but to your point, there is the negative aspect of it as well.
Yeah, I don't think that it makes sense for any of us to be on a black screen all day. You can't make it make sense to me. Like when I see my family in the DR, when I see my family in Wisconsin, it's like when I see people doing other things than on the phone, I'm like, oh, that's rich.
Yeah.
That's actually like fun. Whereas this is getting me, I'm just
going
going deeper. And let me tell you, if it's not D-Ray Davis or like some sort of comedian, it's not going to give me any good feeling. It's going to be more so vanity. Vanity is...
Like, oh, you cute.
This is a generation of vanity. Absolutely. I want to look good. I want to feel confident about myself, but I don't want to be vainly exhausted. No.
How do you find that balance of being online, because we all have to?
Yeah.
But then also making sure you're taking care of yourself.
I haven't found the balance yet. I don't use social media maybe as frequently as I could business-wise. I try to reach out to families and friends socially. Once again, at a deficit because I try not to go on the Instagram and stuff. I'm not good with the logistics.
Yeah.
But what I am good at is scrolling for hours. So
It's a skill set.
yeah, so I don't have it down yet.
Yeah, I feel you.
I might need a friend.
I think a lot of people I can admit, like we're all in the same boat of feeling the need to be online. But going back to music really quickly, we're in Boston, and I'm realizing, at least personally, that there is a strong Boston music scene. I imagine at Berkeley you've been able to experience that. I love how you've stayed dedicated to keeping this on.
I
So
know,
it looks good. No, you're good.
Where does the arm go?
But what do you think about the Boston music scene, if you've been able to experience it? And how does it compare to, I think, a city that doesn't get enough credit, honestly, for the talent that comes out of here?
Oh yeah, no, that I just got chills because the flowers that need to be given in this city are insurmountable. I would have to say there's certain genres that murder here. I would say like there are a lot more, like the young people are really driving this genre. What I also have to say is I still need to get more into it because being in the Berkeley bubble, you're in a legitimate bubble, and to go from live to live to live set, you'd want to kind of go towards Alston, at least within Berkeley. Thinking about Boston and like the music scene here, and when you say like recognition, you know, noticing the people that are coming out of Boston that are kind of creating the sound of Boston, I think of Bobby Brown, I think of New Edition, and then I jump to Bia.
Yeah, and Shiz and
yeah, who's in between?
There's a gap.
Exactly, and the
Or
gap
maybe they
is
haven't
not.
gotten the flowers for actually.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that it's a combination of the generational gap and the genre gap. So I just hope to see maybe maybe possibly like some more scouting in this area. I mean, we have a great population. Music is all about the listener, and we have a hell of a lot of listeners here. So I just can't wait to see what changes, because it's gonna change soon.
Keep the talent in Boston. Don't let them leave.
Let's keep the talent here.
Okay, I could talk to you for hours, honestly, but I'll wrap it up here. What are you hoping to? And this is kind of like big picture question, but what are you hoping the impact your music will make on not just Boston, obviously we're in Boston, but in the world of music overall?
Within my humble self, I really do believe that I'm on this earth to find knowledge, share knowledge, hopefully not misinformed, but my middle name, Veda.
We didn't even talk about
yeah.
Veda. Let's talk about that too.
I want to bring up Veda because it's my artist name, and it is the name of the Indian texts, just knowledgeable texts with, cautionary tales, different stories, but nonetheless information that has survived thousands of years. So if my information that I make, that I spread, all made with love for sure, but if all that could last thousands of years, just like the pyramids have lasted, that would be the greatest legacy. What would be more? Wait, no. Let me. I'm getting ahead of myself.
That was beautiful already.
Thank you.
I'll let you finish.
I guess what I meant to say was, if I can teach valuable lessons that will last thousands of years, that would be very, very. That would be the accomplishment.
That sounds good to me. Alex Veda Ortiz, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you and talking to you.
You too.